If you've been feeling as if you've kind of lost your creative mojo at work, then you want to stick around because I'm going to be sharing 4 ways to get your creative mojo back at work so that you can get better results and better recognition for what you're doing. And if you stick around, in a bonus, I'm also going to share a proven technique that can enable you to release some of that limiting beliefs and thoughts and emotional baggage that stop you from creating success.
Welcome to the Nils Vesk Show, where every episode is designed to help you think faster, solve problems creatively, and generate breakthrough ideas to catapult your success.
Okay, step number 1 to get your creative mojo back so that you feel like you can turn up to work is to rewrite your story. Now, I'm sure you've heard of people talk about, write the script of the hero journey that you want in your life. And I think that's really good advice, because if you're telling yourself a story such as, oh, I hate my work, or I'm not enjoying things, then you're pretty much going to sort of play out that script to the T. And so why put up with a script that's not working for you? Why not write a script that actually is going to work for you? Because here's the thing, sometimes we might end up in a job or a position that we might not love, and we may not be able to change the job role or description just yet, but we can change the way that we turn up. And the one way that we can do it is to change the story that you've got going on. So what does that look like? Well, for example, you might say something like, I have a story that I tell myself that is, I am one of the world's leading creative innovation speakers. Whenever and wherever I turn up to talk, even in corridors, people stop to listen, learn, and laugh. And I can kind of continue that on in a little dialogue. And I use that story for myself to reinforce what I can be rather than what everyone else thinks I should be, or what convention says you have to play at this level down here. So my advice is create a script that's not too long but short enough that inspires you where you might want to take it in terms of your creative thinking, in terms of your leadership, in terms of your business or the results that you want, and use it almost like a mantra. And trust me, using this is such a good, powerful tool. You can use it when you're feeling flat. Maybe you've got Monday-itis going on. Maybe it's a post-lunch slump. Maybe you've just heard some negative feedback from someone. That's when you can use that mantra. You can either say it aloud to yourself or simply recite it in your mind. Create a script. Now, if that doesn't work for you enough, you want something even more, an activity we could delve right into this one is to create an obituary or an epitaph for yourself. And I remember writing, it's going to sound a bit morbid, writing my first obituary, I think at the age of 20 or so. I was at university in America, and it started off something like, Nils Vesk died peacefully in his sleep, aged 119 after a long day's surf. And that was the start of it. And then what writing an obituary did for me was, or a eulogy if you prefer the word, was it enabled me to look at my life from a different perspective and share things that were really important to me, things that I wanted to do. So it can really help you to get meaning in your life and change the way that you want to turn up. So, story. Sound good? All right, let me know how you go with that one. Okay, the second way that we can get our creative mojo back is to look at our abilities. Sometimes we might feel like, oh, I'm not creative enough, or I don't have the creative brain like she does, or he does, or whoever it might be. And what I like to use in this particular type of challenge is to use the words, I have all of the capacity, capability, and resourcefulness to insert the area that you might want to do. So I have all of the capability, capacity, and resourcefulness to learn how to become a creative genius at work. Or I have all of the capacity, capability, and resourcefulness to become an incredibly creative, inspiring, and successful leader. You get the gist. But 3 words in there, really important: capability, capacity, and then resourcefulness. And the other thing I slipped in that one is the word, I have the ability to learn how to become. And this is tied back to something I've spoken about in my other podcast, the concept in psychology called self-efficacy theory. We all have the ability to learn and to improve. Okay, so that's number 2, ability. Now, the third one that I wanted to talk to you about was the concept of prompt. What if you got to prompt you to remind yourself of how you want to turn up and how you might want to think? And a prompt could be a post-it note stuck up there. It could be a reminder. A lot of our clients in our coaching, what we get them to do is to schedule random emails in Google that will send them off at various times. So the subject line has the thing that they are using to remind them. It's like, it might say something like, why not do something different today? Or ask a different question. Or, hey, you've got this. You're more creative and smarter than you think. So using those little prompts can help you just to trigger yourself, to remind you that you are better than you think you are and that you can improve, and also to apply, whether it's some creativity or any other type of thinking that you want. So that was around prompt. And the fourth thing that we can do to sort of get our mojo back in a really simple way is to look at the concept of change. Now, here's the thing. Each and every day, we usually turn up to work to do the same thing, the same way, every day in, day out. Now, it's not our fault. Often it's just the roles that we're in the position that we're in. And yet, despite all of that, we are, by human nature, creatures of habit and seekers of comfort. And yet, as powerful as a habit can be, it can also be quite demoralizing and crush our soul because we sort of switch off. So the balance between finding a habit is knowing when a habit is working for us or working against us, and daring to challenge ourselves from time to time to make things different. Now, the thing about doing something different is it is often unfamiliar, which can feel a little bit scary. It can feel a bit intimidating, and because of that, we might not want to do it. So we need to be mindful of your yours, each and every one of you, your psychological safety. And one of the ways that you can create that change without going too far, that you feel like you're going to jump off a cliff because it's so risky, is to do it small. And people usually respond to a small activity rather than a big activity. So some things that might help you reclaim your mojo is you might say, can I change the environment that I'm working in? Can I change my desk arrangement? Can I change the clothes that I'm wearing? Can I change the route that I take to get to work if I'm traveling to work or commuting? Can I change the thinking that I'm doing? Can I change who I talk to, when I talk to, where I talk to them, what I talk to them about? And some other really powerful things that we can think of, could we change the types of questions that we ask? Let's say that again. Can you change the types of questions that we ask? Here's why. I have found that if you want to get better results, simply ask a better question. And one of the ways that we can do that is to write down at the end of the day. I find often at the end of the day, I like to ask my unconscious, by writing it down consciously, what might be some better ways I can tackle the problem of, insert what that problem is. And I kind of surrender that to my unconscious, and I often wake up in the morning with dreams and ideas ready to go. So asking those types of questions can help to get better results for yourself. The other thing that I found really useful for change is to ask yourself is, what if we were to approach this differently? Or what if we were to do the opposite? And funnily enough, one of the most powerful parts of creative thinking is the ability to come up with alternatives, to substitute this with that and that with this. The more you have the ability to substitute with a different idea or a different question, the stronger your ability to come up with better ideas and better solutions. So when all else fails, ask a different question or look for an alternative. So there are 4 simple ways that I know that can help you to get your mojo back. Now, before I go on to this bonus, I want to share with you a tool that I found can work really well, and it is I guess you'd call it part goal setting, part productivity planner, part bringing in your values. And why I love this and why our clients have been loving it is it just doesn't create a productivity, got to get all the stuff done. Yep, I get that. It also reminds you what some of your values are. And you can get it totally for free if you go to ideamaverick.com/productivity. It's an amazing double-sided, simple, printable, or fill it out on your computer planner that will help you to get more out of your day and to help you claim your mojo back. Cool. Let's come back to the bonus now. And so the bonus I want to share with you might seem a little bit out there, and yet it has been grounded in a lot of research, and it's called tapping, or more effectively, the emotional freedom technique. And simply what it is a form of tapping on different meridian points, naming some of the pressure or some of the issues that are going through your mind. So let's say, for example, you're doubting the fact or your ability to actually step up into a higher position at work, or that you're not creative enough. So what you could do, and you're feeling stressed out by something, you could start by tapping on the side of the hand, just saying what's going on, not trying to debate it, just going, I'm having the thoughts and feelings that I'm not a great creative leader. That's it. I feel like I'm not creative enough, I'm not good enough. They could then continue to tap onto the crown of the head using the same words. I'm having the thoughts and feelings and the tension in my shoulders that I'm not creative enough to make this project happen successfully, or whatever it is. I could keep repeat. Then the inside of the eyebrow. I have the thoughts and feelings that I'm not creative enough to be a successful leader. Then the outside of the eyebrow, I'm having the thoughts and feelings or this tension in my shoulders that I'm not going to be a creative enough leader to get the results we need in our organization. Underneath the eye socket there, I'm having the thoughts and feelings I'm not a creative guy, I'm not going to be able to get the results I want. Underneath the nose, I'm having the thoughts and feelings I'm not a creative guy, I'm not good at this, I'm not innovative. Under the lips, I'm not creative enough, I'm not going to get good results. Under the collarbone, I'm having the thoughts and feelings I'm not a creative leader, I never will be, I'm not going to get the results I want. Just under the armpit, I'm having the thoughts and feelings I'm not a creative leader, I'm not going to get the results I'm having. And then on the bottom rib, just underneath there, I'm having the thoughts and feelings I'm not a creative leader, I'm not going to do good results. And then when we finish something like that, we can check in. Score out of 10, how do we feel? And if it's still like 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, we continue to tap again. And you can change the words that come through, and sometimes you'll find as you start to find areas of tension in your brain, or I'm really worried about this, something might else pop up, and you just tap your way through it. Oh, I've got this worry that because I'm in a hotel rather than my studio, this podcast is going to be no good. It's okay. I'm having the thoughts and feelings this podcast is going to be no good, that people think I'm weird. Yeah, you get the idea. Now, before you freak out and think this is foo-foo warash, it has been researched to death. At least in Australia, there's an amazing professor at Bond University who's done some great research on how this can help you in a lot of different ways, more specifically about reducing the amount of food that you eat if you're overeating and stuff. But it can work for stress at work, creativity, emotional relationships, you name it, anxiety, performance, high performance, and the sort like that. So my friends, I hope this has been of value to you. 4 simple ways to regain, find your mojo so you can get better results and better recognition and rewards for the tough work that you do. Thanks for tuning in. Please let me know what you think and what you might want me to talk about next in my next episode. Thanks a lot. See you later.